common topic that is experience excellence, which is a concept that has been repeated throughout your whole career. You have worked for Vodafone, you have worked for Costa Cruises, and now you're in Sky, to give just some examples, some names. Can you help us understand what it means and why it's different from just customer success?
It not happened yet totally, let's say 100%. But somehow in the company, we are reorganizing ourselves, mirroring the customer journey. It's not a shame to use data or to consider data important into the design process. It's not something that disqualifies your work. You can use data to be even more powerful, okay, to design experiences that suit customer dreams and expectations. So it actually is something that enhances your designing capabilities. It's not something that makes you more, rigid.
Let's make a customer experience excellent.
This is Design-ERS, an irreverent podcast for unconventional makers.
And here we are.
What's up? Good morning, good afternoon.
Today we are very, 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 very excited because we talk a lot about customer experience. We talk a lot about delighting our user, but we believe that one of the key parts of every cocktail should be able to create a great balance between the ingredients, right? So when it comes to create the perfect journey, one of those killer dynamics is combining creativity with data. It's a pretty complex word. So today, to discuss about it, we have a ninja in what we call experience excellence. He started with the telco industries, he moved into travel, and now he's landed into the entertainment world. So thanks for being here, Andrea Rolleri.
Thank you, Andrea.
The mic is yours.
Thank you.
You have
1 minute.
Yeah, 1 minute for your intro.
Okay. I'm sorry I took off my ninja suit. Okay, so I'm sorry not wearing it. But that's fine. So thanks for having me here.
Andrea, I would like to start from your experience actually, because it's more a curiosity. I found, spoilering like your LinkedIn profile, a common topic that is about experience excellence, and which is a concept that has been repeated throughout your whole career. You have worked for Vodafone, you have worked for Costa Cruises, and now you're in Sky, to give just some examples, some names. Can you help us understand what it means and why it's different from just customer success?
So experience excellence is something that it's different time by time. You can have different idea on that depending in my career on the industry I've been working for. As you said, I was into telco with Vodafone. I was into travel with Costa Cruises. I'm now in Sky into the entertainment. So let's say really different industries, different challenges. Customer is always the customer, okay? But the experiences that you are designing for them are really different, okay? And actually the approach was different too. So Vodafone, for example, I'll tell you something about Vodafone. Vodafone is really much into technology. Vodafone in Europe and in Italy as well is always trying to give the customer the best technology and the best experience they can have through technology to their customer. Okay, considering all the telco operators we have, their experiences are really well designed around technology opportunity. So for them, giving the excellent experience is to give the customer the most updated experience they can have on the market. Okay, really much technology driven looking forward. Costa Cruises, it's really different environment from others because I was working in Costa Cruises, but not being on the ship. I was in the headquarters. Okay. So I was pretty far from the product. It was not easy to manage customer experience from my side because I was sitting in the offices, but the customer were on the ship. So it was really key to have good relationship between the headquarters and the people into the ship because they have so much feedback to give to you from the customer in order you to improve their experience designing from the offices. I was into sales, so the excellence experience if you work in sales is to design the best experience you can have to drive a really hard business KPI, so sales. Okay, so customer experience on that side have had a different balance between the let's say the business KPI and the customer experience than the one I had in Vodafone. Vodafone was in that case much more oriented toward customer. Costa was not that much. Was also keeping really straight into the business KPI, the process and experiences. But in Sky, where I'm now, I think that here is a different story. Okay, here, entertainment is a market under disruption. There are so many new competitors in the market. So customer experience is a way also to redefine the company itself. So what I mean is that the customer, let's say, jumped into the company in every process. In every process, we somehow get in contact with the customer in order to, no matter if you're designing, I don't know, a service experience, a sales experience, an operation experience, within the process, the customer is always engaged. Okay, so you check point with the customer while you're designing new experiences, make sure you are designing meaningful experiences to them, and then from the customer experience that you're designing, you eventually even change your organizer internally to deliver that experience. So customer experience for Sky is a way also to redesign the company itself around the customer.
Rethinking the journey, adapting it to what is the new customer choice, and you are designing the design itself. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense actually. You're designing the customer experience, and then the customer experience, let's say, redesign back the way you work.
Wow.
So the big thing in here, it not happened yet totally. Let's say 100%. But somehow in the company we are reorganizing ourselves, mirroring the customer journey.
Wow.
In your experience with Costa, and as you said, I can see the sort of friction with the fact that, hey, maybe I should be doing my work on a ship. It doesn't matter where I am, but if I cannot consume and actually enjoy, or at least try and live the experience on my skin, how can I be like a good proxy, a good sounding board for the people that are living the experience that we're selling? So I think now I'm almost hearing like 100% degree evolution and approach to that. When in Sky, you're saying not only it's easier, of course, to live the entertainment experience of Sky because it's through a device, a TV, rather than just being on a ship. So because of that, still, the company is evolving around that journey. And that is super exciting. So, and you were talking about the different steps and how you're accommodating and trying to shape-shifting around that customer experience journey. Do you measure the efficiency of the experience through those steps? And how do you make sure that through measuring those steps, you make it excellent?
Actually, we do it every day. We do it every day. And actually, I think that one of the main stakeholder of my team, okay, which is designing new UX and UI and journeys, is the digital analytics team. The data is not just, let's say, for feedback. It's just not for understand that the journey you design was good, but actually is part of the design. It's definitely one of the most important parts of our work. It's not just a feedback channel, is a design tool. I would say the data into the way we operate is a design tool, definitely. And I'll tell you something more on what you said before in Costa. You're right. The product was so far from me that actually that's the reason why I changed my job. Because I was not, I can say, without feeling myself every day, without touching the product. Okay, in Vodafone, I could try myself the experience I was designing and working for. In Costa, actually, it maybe happened, I don't know, twice, maybe, that I had short cruises. And it was really nice, really fun. But outside of that experience, the product and experience, it was the real experience of a Costa cruise. So the product was so far that actually was one of the main reasons I changed my job and moved to Sky.
And talking about changing jobs and environments, I'm so curious to know from your learning perspective, your takeaway, I would say in Scrum methodology, your retrospective after all these experiences. What's the biggest mistake you have made that you are most proud of?
It's something really, really simple. And on the short talk we had before the video, actually, you gave the answer to this question
Really?
yourself, because you
Really?
said I quit doing design and moved to UX because I had to associate a scope to my work. Okay, not just design for a beauty contest. And that's exactly the biggest mistake I made at the beginning. So actually, in the interpretation that I was having to my job, the design was doing nice things, beautiful journeys, beautiful layouts, beautiful experiences, and let's say the designing, setting up the touch point, the way they look nice. But actually, then I changed my mind, of course. Because I'm working in big companies, so it cannot be like that. The way you design, it should be really focused also on the business scope you have. If not, you're just you're just the one with post-it notes and scratches here and there.
Why, Andrea? You have designed the border radius 80 pixels and not 20. Andrea, we don't want to. Why is that? I totally feel that.
Those are hard discussion, actually. If you don't focus this, you're gonna just have really hard discussion into big companies. Yeah.
I think it's a great thread, one of objectifying design decisions, because you can work with a business perspective if you don't take care of business. Because of course we have to understand the customers, the user's problem. But I think nowadays design is more balancing between businesses and users. It's not just
Definitely.
That's just taking care of UIs.
I think it's a theme that we've been hearing more and more, and I would like to almost separate the two, because they're combined, but I think there are two themes in here. And Andrea, Raffaele, tell me what you think. The idea is that on one side there is this evolution of the role of a designer and how much it should be entrenched and infused with business skills. So you cannot be a designer and just be a creative in terms of crafting something that is beautiful. It has to be tangible. It has to actually serve a purpose and a scope, so you can move the infamous bottom line, or you can go and talk business and what's the impact on the business on what the thing you design. The more you get close to it, the probably even the higher you'll be in your career, because you'll be managing and you'll be able to deal with like more high level conversation. So that's a theme in terms of how we see the role of the designer expanding into business. And that's something we also touched in one of the very first episodes of this new spin-off of what a designer is. And I think Raffaele also discussed about that in your latest episode on Design Informale, if you guys want to listen to that. The other part that I'm hearing is when you craft those experiences, there is a huge component of data that needs to be there at every step. So data is at the beginning to support the research. Data is while you craft and define something in order to make sure that you're impacting enough of the audience or the target. And data is when you deploy and test for you to figure it out if this is actually really working or not. And so it's something that goes along the creative process. So the two things that I'm hearing are, on one side is how design has to be outcome driven in terms of business, but has to be data oriented when it comes to crafting the creative process. What do you guys think?
For me, to the 2 points that you have touched, Federico, I think the key is understanding what are we talking about and what is our expectation on that, in terms of, okay, a designer would be good for us if he or she will take care of this and that. The business is so important. No matter the industry, no matter the stage of the company, if it's a startup, if it's if it's a big tech corporate, I think it's something that you should always integrate. But when I say integrate, I don't want to say you have to be a pro. I want to just point out that you need to be aware of the limits. For example, me, my experiences, always be aware of the limits in terms of talking of KPIs or OKRs and designing with a meaning that is not just pushing pixel forward, but is moving out something else that is something more meaningful. And to end to your question, regarding the data, I would point out a very famous kind of quote that is, without the data, you are just a man with an idea. Let's focus on the metrics. I cannot predict if tomorrow there will be rain or there will be something if I just see clouds. I have to understand what I need and what I want to track if I have to dry my clothes. So I need to be aware of the rain, other than if I want to go to the beach and I want the sun.
I totally agree. To me, data is a tool that cannot miss into the designer toolbox. Okay, it's something that you cannot avoid to bring always with you. And the thing that maybe at the beginning is difficult to understand, maybe from the background that designer have, is that it's not a shame to use data or to consider data important into the design process. It's not something that disqualifies your work. Okay. On the other hand, okay, you can use data to be even more powerful, okay, to design experiences that suit customer dreams and expectations. So it actually is something that enhances your designing capabilities. It's not something that makes you more, rigid.
Talking as a tool, since you said it's like a tool that should be in our toolbox, and it's pretty funny because I have a Notion page that is a toolbox of design, I'll share with you later. Could you give us a kind of a designer example, practical example of how to apply this tool?
Okay. Talking about an experience, actually it's pretty recent in Sky. Okay. Sky is a premium entertainment product, so it costs you money. It's not cheap. Okay. So customer expectation from Sky are really high. But sometimes you give them just experiences that look like any other you have, also in other product that you use every day, but maybe that you are paying much less. I'll give an example. Right. Talking about, for example, the customer service. Okay, you can call the customer service for your electricity, for your water and pipes, or for Sky, for example. And actually, let's say your expectations are really different. Okay, but on average, the experience is pretty much the same. Okay, you call, you wait in a line, you hope not to have your call falling down, you're expecting something to answer to you, and maybe you don't get your problem solved at first, and maybe you have to call another time, and you're talking to another guy, and you have to start explaining again from the beginning your problem, and keeps going like this. I think you find a nice guy or nice girl that is able really to solve your problem. This is frustrating, right? And you do not expect from a brand that is asking for you so much money a month, okay, and that delivers you actually a super nice entertainment product to you. So what we have done, we analyzed actually where the frustration were, and they were exactly the one that I just told you, calling many times, talking to different people, not having the problem solved at first. So what we did, we create a new experience into the relation that the customer have with the brand, with Sky in this case, on a service matter, if I need some help. Okay, and it works like that. When I get in contact with Sky, okay, without any effort from the customer, from the operator, it's like a case is opened. Okay, and from that time on, let's say on this case, on this box, let's say it's an information technology box, not it's an IT box. Every interaction that you're gonna have with Sky for that issue that you have, no matter if you call another time, no matter if you chat on let's say on a chat channel, or you write something into the website of Sky, all this information that are related to the same issue is all collected into this box, and the status, the progress of this issue. So who is managing, where is it, the issue into the process, how much time left to resolve that one, etc., are available through your app. Okay, anytime to you, and eventually, if you need to call with Sky, You go into the app, you open this box where your history is there, and you just simply ask the Sky to call you back. And the guy is calling you back is the same that's managing your issue. So no waiting time on the line, no repeating myself many times, no costs, because calling is also costs. So we started from the data and the frustration, and we designed a completely brand new experiences, removing one by one all these frustrations.
From sorry if I'm interrupting you, but from the happiness you are talking about, seems like a great whiteboard, like with all the metrics that we have tracked and with all the the pain and the gains that now we have. It's an amazing story. Thank you so much for having shared this.
Yeah, let me add some. It's not just a great experience from the customer, but having all this information available to you anytime, giving the opportunity to come back if you need it. And actually, at the really end, Sky is asking me if the problem was solved. So it's me saying that the problem is solved. It's not Sky. Okay, so it's the customer that says, okay, I'm fine. And this gives also really good advantages into operation costs, because probably through this new process, your problem is managed properly, on time, right at first. So you're not giving cost after cost, calling after cost. So it's good for both.
This is a fascinating conversation because, and now I'm purposely being provocative, but when you think about it, as you said, Sky is an entertaining company, right? It works in entertainment. And so if you ask anyone, what does Sky do? The answer is premium content. So the provocative thought is that nowadays, I almost see these three levels. Like the first level related to Sky specifically, not for every company, but for Sky, I mean, content is almost like a table stake. It's like the foundational element of it. Like I want Sky because it's like premium content. Can be soccer, can be movies, can be anything, right? But that is the table stake. Like people know that they want to go there because of that. So if that was not there, nobody will ever do Sky. And that's the first level of what you're trying to craft and offer. The second level is what I call the differentiator, and that is probably on the product. So when I'm experiencing Sky, what do I get? Right? What is the kind of feeling when I open on my TV? Yeah. And how well the product identifies with me and how easy it is to use. And that's the second level of the, let's say, the Sky value prop. And that's the differentiator, because Sky may be better than Netflix, might be better than the other competitor, Disney Plus, whatever, right? So that's where you go up into the hierarchy. But then, and that's the funny and probably more intriguing thing is, the third level, what I would call a delighter, it's not at all connected to the first one, or the content, or the nature itself of the company. So the delighter is, what are the surrounding experience, especially connected to the pain points, and how we solve from them. So the experience that you have all around, almost at the long tail of the product, at the long tail of the content, is what we're trying to solve to make Sky a delightful experience. And that is super fascinating because, again, are we talking about all the time why the role of design is expanding? Why do we need to talk to the business? Why we need to be able to talk to the data? Because if as a designer you don't understand those elements, you won't be able to bring them back into what you're designing.
That's really the truth. And I share you one thing about Costa Cruises that really is another thing like this. So Costa Cruises is about being on a ship on your vacation and having fun and drink and eat and seeing and looking nice places, etc., etc., etc. But into the sales department where I was working for, okay, we designed an experience of a personal cruise consultant. So a guy or a girl who was taking care of your vacation, suggesting you new offer for you, new destination, new experiences, etc., etc., etc. So actually, this guy or girl was not in the ship. So it was not part of the product, was not part of an experience. It was a guy or girl calling you on the phone, spending time talking with you, let's say dreaming with you on what's your next best vacation with Costa. And the customer liked that so much that, believe me, there were people coming into the offices just to meet these guys and girls, and they were sending them gifts for Christmas.
Wow.
Seriously, I saw my... Seriously, I'm not joking.
We can close the podcast with this. We made it. We nailed it.
I never got a Christmas present from any of my clients ever in my life or my companies. I mean, apart the usual one, like a real one, like, hey, good job. Mostly probably because I've never done a phenomenal job. But anyway, Andrea, today I'm stealing the thunder from Raffaele, and today I'm asking you our signature question. That is, after all this conversation so far, not that it has to be stopped, but what is your definition of design?
My definition of design is to create meaningful experiences. Okay, wow. It's not just something that is nice, it's not something that is efficient, it's not something that is, real time or let's say wowing me, but it's the sum of all of these. Is what the customer brings himself after having tried that experiences. A meaningful experience is an experience that you want to promote, you want to talk about. Okay, we are not used actually to talk about good things. We are so much used to talk about bad things. Okay, but we just talk on the positive side of the thing we experience just when they're great. Okay. And this is an extremely hard job because the expectation from our customer are going up every day. So that's a really difficult job. But if you reach the point, then you're okay. I mean, you're done your best. That's a meaningful experience.
Boom. Thank you so much, Andrea. I will definitely steal kind of part of your quotes to add to my profile. That was super nice. Absolutely. For free. That's it. For free.
Make a t-shirt with that. You can totally make a t-shirt. And
yeah.
The
new... just do it.
Yes, then you just do it. On your head. Yes. For whoever is just listening, Raffaele has this amazing, I don't know if it's eventually a Nike yet, but it just says, just do it. Is it a Nike one? It is a Nike one, right?
Yeah, it's a Nike one. Yeah,
nice.
It's do it meaningful. That's it. Remove the just.
Yeah, you're right.
Nice,
you know what I like about what you said, Andrea, is that I think both with Vodafone and even with Sky, you touch another very interesting point, that these are some of the example when you talk about the experience and you talk about the feedback that you get. And you know that when a customer is reaching out to you, it's most likely because something is not working. Like, I've never heard anyone calling a cable company like Comcast here in the US and say, guys, I'm just calling you because today my television works. Or, today my internet never stopped. It never acted clunky. It was phenomenal. It never happens, right? So a part of crafting, as you were saying, those meaningful and even getting this excellence is so hard because all the time all you get is the bad feedback, is the negative feedback, is the criticism. Yes, does it make you grow, right? But it's so hard to balance it almost like you live in a world of like pain points, but it's not true. Where you say, hey, we're gonna be up 99% of the time. But then for the 1%, make it rain, right? Whenever the 1% doesn't work, that's where all the mess happens. So I guess that's why it is so hard.
And the funny thing, just to add one more, is that when it happens, when the customer writes to the telco company that someone has been really super nice and wowed the customer, actually, what happened is that not just changing the customer life for a while was good, but when it comes, it also makes your day. Okay, so it's also for you. That's the best feedback you can have, definitely.
Yes. Another quote. Boom. Yeah. Great. Thank you so much, Andrea.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
To be with you guys. Yeah. Enjoy. Stay safe.
You too.
Bye guys. Bye. Enjoy your day.
Ciao,
bye. Ciao. Bye.